Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ashley and I'm here to talk about books. I am thinking for the month of May, I'll start off with a reading vlog since my usual first upload of the month is a monthly wrap up. But in April, which is the month that I am currently in and about to reach the end of, I haven't actually read very many books. I think I read 4 books in April and then I'm reading my 5th one now. So I'll just do a monthly wrap up combining both April and May, and then this month we can just have a reading vlog be my first video. Next weekend we're actually going out on vacation because it is my best friend's birthday. So we booked a cabin in Pine, Arizona, which is kind of like a woodsy area, and it's gonna be me, my husband, my best friend, and then her girlfriend. I'm so excited to be on vacation in the woods with like all of these wonderful people around me. We're also bringing our 2 dogs. They love the outdoors, so of course my husband really wanted to bring them. I do have one book picked out for vacation, and it is Wild by Cheryl Strayed. I'll go ahead and pop the cover up here in the corner, and I think that one will be really fitting for the setting. I heard of this book because Gabby Reeves had read it, and she said that it was very outdoorsy, so that's why I think that it would be kind of cute for me to read that when we're at the cabin. But right now my current read is Shark Heart by Emily Habeck. So in this one we're following a married couple named Ren and Lewis, and we are existing in a world where this strange thing happens. It's kind of like a rare disease. A person can start becoming like turning into an animal. And then our main characters are struggling with Lewis, which is the husband, being diagnosed that he is turning into a great white shark. And his wife, Ren, is the caretaker. She's trying to take care of him while also dealing with the idea that she may be losing her husband soon to this disease. It's not necessarily that he's going to die, it's just that he's going to be a shark. So obviously their relationship will not progress the way that it has. It reminds me of if you've ever had a loved one that's had like dementia or like Huntington's disease, something like that, where the person who is affected by the disease, they're changing, and it's not because they're deciding to do it, it's because of this disease that is making this decision for them. Her husband will no longer be in her life, not by choice, but that there's a deadline on their marriage, and it's kind of sad. But you guys know I love my sad books. I love books that talk about grief. I don't know why that's always a topic that really interests me. Fun fact is that my dream job was actually to be a mortician. So I mean, that's not what I am, but I still would really love to be a mortician. I just don't really want to go back to school. So yeah, I think that light bulb just went off for me, that maybe that's why I love grief books so much. So far, this story is absolutely beautiful. It has a lot of commentary on what it means to love somebody, knowing that one day you're going to lose them. There's been so many good quotes that I have highlighted. I am annotating all throughout this book. I've really been enjoying it. There is one thing that is bothering me though, and it is, in my opinion, this author's overuse of alliteration. Like I've begun highlighting whenever there's alliteration used because it is so often. I mean, let me read you guys an example. And this has been all throughout the book. It's not just this part. If it's like 1 or 2 times that the author is using alliteration, I can totally understand that. It's a writing choice, but it has been so frequent that I'm finding it to be a little irritating. But yeah, so here's an example. It says, Lewis's hands, Lewis's mouth, Lewis's hair, Lewis's neck, and the ceiling spun, 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 and her chest thumped, thumped, thumped. I'm not reading poetry. I am reading a novel, and this makes me like want to skim it because it's just extremely repetitive. I was hoping like the first couple of times that it happened that this wasn't going to be something that was going to come up the entirety of the book, but so far it has. So definitely not a perfect 5-star from me already, but we'll see. Otherwise, it has been really good. So I think my rating still could be pretty high. It's just not going to be perfect. That's all for me for right now. I do have to work today, so I will be getting into work, and then I'm currently listening to this audiobook while I work, and then I'm reading from my Kindle on my breaks. So I will be giving you guys an update once that I have one, but I guess I'll just see you in the next clip. So it is much later in the day. I kind of flew through the rest of Shark Heart today, and I didn't really have a chance to update since I was working, but I did complete it. I will say that one complaint that I had about it with like the alliteration and the repetitiveness, that did last throughout the entirety of the rest of the book. So if that's something that really bothers you, then just know that going into this one. But overall, I'm kind of conflicted with my rating on this book, and I might sound a little bit picky here by saying this because I don't want to rate it 4 stars because I didn't love it that much, but I also don't think that a 3.5 does it justice. So it's kind of annoying, but I'm going to land on a 3.75, I think. I really did enjoy the characters in this book. I felt like they were all pretty fleshed out, like you got to know them very well. And I do love a good character study. I'd like a book that has something to say, and I feel like this one had a lot to say. I do really enjoy reading books like this that explore like raw emotion, where they're kind of set in a realistic setting, except that there is something not exactly normal from what we know reality to be. And it just kind of puts you in a different headspace and a place where you have to suspend your belief just a little bit so that you can like read between the lines and figure out what the message is that the author is trying to portray for the reader. Another thing that I found pretty interesting was reading about like what the medical professionals were doing to treat these mutations. You do read about a couple of different instances where like other people are turning into other animals that aren't sharks, and like what is to be expected on the medical side of things and how it varies from the different animals. Also, all of the like options that they have for these people after they've mutated. It felt like that in of itself had a lot of commentary on like these diseases that people have in our real world, where there's nothing that can be really done about it from a medical stance. The only thing that the doctors can really do is make it more comfortable for the person that is being inflicted by this illness and kind of set realistic expectations for them and their families about what's going to happen to them. It's really hard to talk about some of the feelings that I had for this book without getting into spoilers, especially when we are getting to like the kind of part 2 and so on, where we're learning a lot about the mom and like the past. We kind of go back in time and learn about her and some of the things that she went through and her pregnancy with Ren. I feel like some of the things that she experienced with her mom really set her up to be the person that she needed to be for Louis. And I just found that to be kind of beautiful. I think that my final rating is going to be solid on a 3.75, even though that's kind of annoying and picky, but it is what it is. Like I said, Shark Heart is checking off a lot of boxes for me on my reading challenges this year. So I'll just pop my images here on the screen so you guys can see the progress of what I've done so far if you're interested. And if you guys want to know more about these, let me know. I guess I could make a separate video about that, but for now, this is what I've done so far. I am going to be starting Wild here pretty soon. I do have quite a few things going on. I have my sister that's coming to stay over, and just kind of getting ready for vacation, some prep work that I need to do for the birthday celebrations. And then when we actually leave for vacation, I don't plan on really picking up the camera and like talking a lot. I do want to get a little bit of footage just so I can put it into the video, but I kind of want to just be present in the moment with my friends. For now, that is all that I have to say about Shark Heart. I am going to be reading Wild in the morning, and yeah, I will give you guys an update once I have one. Just stopping in to give an update because I did start on Wild. I'm only about 15% into it, but this is a memoir from the author Cheryl Strayed, and in the beginning you're following her as her mom is being diagnosed with cancer and shortly after dying, and then in the wake of her grief, she ends up cheating on her husband and her marriage falls apart. So her life is kind of spiraling downward, and she decides rather impulsively that she wants to go on a very long hike by herself. I do like how honest and real this author is with her emotions throughout this book, like her feelings about her family and her mother passing, and her feelings about ruining her marriage, and kind of like how she has to internalize all of that and own up to what she did. So far, not very outdoorsy, but I could see how it's getting to that point for sure. At this point in the story, she's just getting prepared to go on her hike, and she's staying at a hotel. Right now, I'm just running some errands before we get ready for our vacation. So I do have it on my Kindle, and then I'm also listening to the audiobook that I got off of Libby. So I am doing it in tandem, but I do prefer on this one, the Kindle more than the audiobook, so that's really good because I love reading on my Kindle when I'm on vacation. Then in my March wrap up, I had talked about how I read Death Valley, and that one was more of a magical realism type of book, but again, she was hiking by herself in the desert, and that's kind of the vibes that I'm getting from this one so far, except that this one is a true story. So yeah, that is really funny, and that's a pattern that I've noticed a lot with reading books, and I'm very interested to know if anyone else has this, where it'll be like a character's name or a setting or some kind of theme that carries over into like the next couple of books that I read. It's so interesting the way that because I go into books pretty much blind for the most part. That's like one of my favorite ways to read. So I find it very interesting that I always pick up these books that have like similarities. So I'm just going to be running some errands today. I'll be listening to the audiobook, and then later today I'm going to start getting some things together for our trip and packing. So yeah, I'll see you guys with my next update. We're headed off to Pine, and I got Starbucks this time. This is the main house right here. The living area. Windows go all the way up. There's a fireplace, a TV. There's another sliding glass door there to get to the patio. Cute little kitchen. This is where Kenny and I's room is. Which there's already a gate, so that's perfect for the dogs. I think this couch is a pull-out couch for another bed. But there's our bed.
Hey, stop it. You gotta go. We have to go.
We have
buddy.
to go home, honey.
You gotta go, buddy. Shadow, let go. Let go.
He said, just leave my
enough.
bed here and I'll
Shadow,
stay.
enough.
It has been a couple of days, but I did finish Wild. I did sit on my thoughts on it for a little while. This book was very moving for me. I liked it a lot. I will not be reading this book because I don't think that it's fair for me to put a rating on somebody's personal story. So with it being a memoir, I will not be rating it, but I did love it. I really loved it. I am not a crier. I don't cry for books. I don't think I've ever cried for a book. I've cried for very few movies in my lifetime, but yeah, this one actually did make me cry, and that said something for me. Like, I can't put into words how moving this book was for me. I think that Cheryl did a absolutely fantastic job of writing this book and putting her story out there. I do think that this one is very important. There is definitely a message that I feel like this author was portraying with this book, and it is that you just need to value your own life and make the most out of the life that you were given. There will be times where life is going to get you down. It can knock you down. You're allowed to have your lows, and you're allowed to make mistakes in life. You can come back from the worst of the worst. This one is up there with one of those books that means a lot that I read it. Also, something that I learned that I thought was like an interesting little tidbit is that Cheryl Strayed actually changed her last name to Strayed. That's not what her legal last name was. And I found that to be really cool because she explains it in the book, like, especially given the content of the book and explaining where she came up with that name and like why she felt that it suited her. So going into this vlog, I wasn't expecting Wild to be the book that actually made me cry. Like, I knew that with it being a memoir, it was going to have some content in there that would be possibly hard for people to handle. I was expecting Shark Heart to be the book that made me really sad, and it turns out that Wild was the book that did it. I think this vlog was really fun, even though I read sad books, like reading my sad girl books. And with that, I am wrapping up this vlog. So if you have anything that you would like to say, any comments that you guys want to talk about these books that I read in this one, you can comment down below and I would be happy to discuss them with you guys. If you like this video, please don't forget to like it. Don't forget to subscribe, maybe even ring the bell if you would like to be notified when I upload. And until next time, see you guys later.